Okay. We back. We back. Refresh. I don't know if you have to refresh or if it'll just go back on, but I think certain browsers freak out, so.
Hired goons are en route to the ISP now.
Take them out. Take them out. I'm gonna ping in the Discord again. There we go. That's my strategy on twitch.tv, is to restart the stream once so everyone gets a second notification 45 minutes into the stream. Could you imagine if that was a strat? I can't imagine that working. You check Discord to see what pinged? Well, we'll see if it's stable this time or not. And if it's not, I'm not restarting again, but maybe it helps. Who knows? Anyway, yeah, get your dailies in again. Do it. Get your double dailies. Seems okay. Yeah, I'm giving it no model on the screen for a sec. Just make sure it figures itself out. Your router works fast. It's not too bad to cycle it, actually. Okay, I just saw it dip, but it went from 11K to 7K, so the little indicator turned orange and I was like, oh! But it was going from 11K bitrate to 7, so I don't think that's a problem because like 8500 is my my like stable number usually. 81 to 85. You felt that up? Yeah, even if it's high and then it goes to like medium, it's still like there'll be a little something, but it's really only if it dips down to like 4K repeatedly, that's when it gets a little funky. Also, someone said, what song? This is from Macross. It's called Horsey. We could just listen to the Macross album, actually. Let me find it. I could just go to like Macross Radio and play it. If you go on Spotify and go to like Macross 82-99 specifically. That's what they keep a lot of the like the music under. Macross, yeah, no, it's very it's a really specific genre of music. And hiccups for you? It looks stable to me. There was one earlier. But it looks like it's been 8100 to 8500 this whole time other than the early dip. Yeah, you hard for refresh, and then you tell me after that. You're not a fan of Macross until you've watched Macross 7? That's actually... This is one of those things I find hard to describe people. They're like, what's it about? And I'm like, just watch it. Just watch it. And then they're like, you always listen to music from it. And I'm like, yeah, that's what it's all about, baby. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It is very unique. It's one of the few things I have like watched everything from, to be honest. Yeah, Mecha and Idols. Exactly. 8299 FM has uncleared sample, so it got pulled from Spotify. Really? Oh, I didn't know that. That stinks. That stinks. But it makes sense. It does make sense. Yeah, I think I don't know. I mean, it's just... I like Idols and I like Mecha. And then they were like, what if we put them together? And then they left it like that. Oh, it dipped to 3K. All right, well, stream will occasionally be tweaking today, and I can't do anything about it. For the record. But it's looking better than it did. It's showing the amount of drop frames total is 5%. Not as bad as before, so...
Iron Mouse Alexger Hype
Oh my
Zente
god.
Rave
He's gonna
Matara
read out all of
Giga
them.
Chia Henya Cheerdamon 67 Demo Murder Mishimoki Load Scroll.
It's Tweak Sunday. Wait, I like that. Yup. It'll be the very best. Let's add it. Tweak Sunday, where... No, I won't even describe it. We're just gonna call it Tweak Sunday. Boom. Boom. It is in the title. There we go. There we go. Perfect. 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 You said you've only caught bits and pieces of their various shows. It's a little weird to follow if you haven't like watched it through. I think you should just watch all of them, honestly. There's a lot of stuff that's older that I don't love going back and watching, even if I remember loving this some old anime or old show. A lot of them when I look back, I'm like, yeah, this doesn't hit anymore. Right? But for me, I don't know. I feel like Macross always does. It always does. And part of it is because it's so music oriented, so I feel like that makes it a bit more timeless. I don't know. It's solid though. I think everyone should watch it. Depends on the show, true. And it has a very like old picture of what idols are supposed to be in Japan. In a way, where it's just someone performing who, I mean, maybe not all the Macross characters, but it's, you know, it's just someone performing and spreading some sort of message. They're very about a thing. And, you know, in the 80s and 90s in Japan, idols, or really the early ones from the 70s, 80s, idols were people who were supposed to spread joy and spread certain messages of Japanese culture, specifically how hardworking they are. We are the hardworking people. Let's not forget that. And, you know, we'll pull ourselves out of this because we're like that, right? And it was that kind of message because they were decimated from the wars and they had to go through their restorations and rebuilding periods. And so, you know, they were kind of just people that were singing about that to give people hope. That's really what it was. And that's where the idea of idols kind of came from, what they were made for. And the word idol was specifically used because it's like someone you should look up to, but not just look up to because they're the greatest. It's more like they have the attitude you should strive to have as well. Right? That was what they were for, in a way. Wait, he didn't read it out. Do I have to relink him? Oh my god, I'm relinking him. Mr. Script, as I call him. That's him trying to reopen. We have to open Mr. Script. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, we do Biku for TTS. I'm reopening, don't worry. Morale officers with less trench coats, more skirts. You mean fewer trench coats? Yeah, no, you're right. It is exactly what it is. It was just also like, you know, the country was thrown into so much disarray and all this wartime stuff, and everyone was doing without. And a lot of that meant women doing without things that make them feel feminine, that are signs of femininity, right? People doing without anything luxurious, people doing without certain types of products that they would normally buy because they don't have the money for that. What's the first stuff you cut out? Cosmetics, things that are, you know, just for appearance and feeling good about yourself, whatever. That's what you cut out because you're just like, I need to eat food. You know, you don't buy more clothes, etc. So idols being primarily female and putting forth a very feminine image and everything and all of that and being like, oh, so refreshing, what a nice girl. Like it was because of that, because they didn't have those things. And they're like, hey, we're rebuilding and we could do this again. Woo, right? Yeah, jewelry is sold first. Exactly. So a lot of stuff that people used to decorate themselves, right, was just lost and sold off during wartime. So yeah, so idols in Japan kind of showing up and becoming a thing, mostly in the 80s, somewhat before that a little bit, was really just a result of all that time, right? They were just restoring the country. So it was an interesting origin. And people nowadays think of idol culture and they keep thinking it's something so different. And has it morphed from that? Absolutely. It's very different than it used to be, but like that's where it comes from, you know? And that's what the old music really comes from. The messages of them and everything. That's why there's also a lot of music from that time where they're singing about like sad things or hardship with an upbeat melody. And it's a little like, it almost feels like it doesn't fit. A lot of city pop is like that. Because it was just people like expressing a lot of thoughts and feelings that they had post and during restoration. Right? So, I mean, what are they supposed to sing about? What the hell are they supposed to talk about?
Tweak Sunday.
So, tweak Sunday. Thank you, Oshi. Thank you. Yeah, the stream's gonna be tweaking on it. I really can't do anything. The only other option is not stream, which I don't want to do. You didn't realize idol culture started in Japan? You thought it was Korea for some reason? No, though Korea really wasn't far behind. I mean, Korea always had singers. The same way Japan had like enka singers and stuff. Korea had a few different things, but a lot of their music right before idols kind of came about was called trot. There's this genre called trot music, and it is a style of older Korean pop before what you currently think about, which is like idol oriented. And it was like just random ass singers, usually like older dudes, some random ladies singing, and they would use a style of vocalization that was very traditional, but throw it over pop music. So the same way, I don't want to call it throat singing. Like, it's not the term for it at all. But, you know, there are a lot of like weird intonations that they use and stuff. And they would do it. No, trot, T-R-O-T, trot. Just Korean trot music. And the whole genre still exists today. It's relatively popular with like older folks. But that was kind of like the main kind of pop music that was existing, along with some ballad singers. Those were the two things in Korea. And then J-pop started happening. And basically the moment it happened, Korea was like, some of the artists over there were like, let's do it too. You know? Because it was kind of seen as like an American thing. And Korea was heavily influenced by America, but they kind of tried to not do American pop because they felt like they wanted to maintain their culture. And a lot of the culture in Korea had already been adjusted by the presence of the US Army over there. To this day, we have a fuck ton of US soldiers in Korea, just, you know, training there, holding down bases and stuff. And it's very intertwined, our military. So yeah, they kind of kept like their whole culture feeling still theirs through a lot of things like music and arts that they wanted to keep like uniquely Korean and not have too much influence. But yeah, then you know, J-pop J-pop happened with idols kind of coming in, and you know, China and everything was kind of also having their city pop era, and they couldn't resist. They were like, this sounds too good. And too many artists from Korea kept traveling to those countries and, you know, doing that type of music as well, getting into it. So it kind of bled over immediately. So a lot of the idol culture was inherited, but it was inherited very quickly and then developed into its own thing immediately. So you could say like one came first, but I feel like they all developed in tandem next to each other in different ways. You said, Trot, it makes you think of music you've heard from North Korea. Yeah. A lot of North Korean music still is in the style of trot or similar. Not exactly trot music, because a lot of trot was also made after the war, and after the split of the two Koreas. But yeah, it's kind of similar. If you listen to like North Korean music, where it's like, you know, all propaganda and they say "우리나라" in like every song, you know, like our country is the most beautiful and whatever. A lot of it will sound reminiscent of trot music, kind of. So you'll hear the similarity. But a lot of South Korean music was also like that, and then after the split, it just they just did whatever they wanted at that point. They got more globalized. For sure. Yeah. Oh, Canada. You fucked it up.
Yeah. Oops.
You messed it up. Can I say something? That actually starts a half step too high. It's supposed to be one half step lower. I should have said this earlier. It starts on that note, which is basically an A. I think it's an A. I think you're starting on an A sharp, are you? I don't know. And that's slightly off. I'm sorry to only say this now. I've been thinking this the whole time, every time I hear someone do that one, actually. You know, I know I don't know how to fix it, Move each note 1/2 step lower. I don't know. I don't know either. I don't know the codes for the notes. Someone who knows how to do it, fix it. Fix it now. Fix it now. Urinata really took me back. Yeah, a lot of songs where they go like Manse in the middle of it and shit. Like, they still say it in the South, but in the North, it's very prevalent. It's very prevalent. You know the codes, but you don't know music. Okay, well take the tune that's there. The first half of the tune is correct, but the tune that plays after you should open the chest in Zelda, think of that imagery, that one starts 1/2 step too high. So take every note from there, make all of those 1 tick lower. That's all I'm asking for. You guys perfect pitch? Mostly, yeah. I was always, when I was in orchestra, what would always happen is I would tune my instrument first. And then everyone else would be like, can you play an A? And I'd just sit there and hold an A. Over and over, A, just until everyone tuned, because they didn't bring their tuners like fools. Thanks for that bite. And I would just be like, I just want to warm up and practice. And they'd be like, nah, keep holding that A. And I'd be like, why don't you bring a fucking tuner? And they'd be like, because you always tune your instrument. And I could just ask you. And I was like, what? No. So at some point I stopped doing that. I would tune my cello and then I just start playing whatever I was going to play to warm up. And I would just be like, you're gonna bring a tuner or I'm not gonna help you. Why bring a tuner when you are a tuner? Yeah, though my ears tuned a little flat, a little like imagine Baroque tuning. So there's like the 460 A, 460 cents, meaning the measurement of the wave to produce an A. There's also like the 440. So mine is tuned down to the Baroque A a little bit. So when I hear music, I can tell you what note it is. But when I just sit there in a room with no sound and I tune my cello and I go, oh, let me make this A an A, it's always tuned to like a Baroque A a little bit because my ear just prefers that. But also I think that's just better. I'm going to be a snob for a second. I think all instruments should be tuned slightly flat to Baroque tuning. So they're all in perfect proportion. But I think that's slightly flatter. It's not an actual flat note where it's like tuning an A down to an A flat. It's like 1/4 down from there. I think it sounds slightly softer and slightly more beautiful. I don't know. I like it. Yeah, 432. Exactly. Yeah, the 440A is the one that people tune to. There's some songs that even want a brighter tone. They make you tune up more. I don't like it. I don't like it. And then when I played in a Baroque ensemble and they had us specifically tune low, I was like, wow, everything sounds so nice to my ear. Everything sounds so good. I don't know. It's just one of those little things that I always think about. Because I'll listen to someone play some instrument and I'll be like, it sounds a little sharp to me. And I know immediately, I recognize, I'm like, that's just my ear preferring X thing. But I don't know. My brain is always like, tuning up from 440. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Yeah, 442 is pop standard. I know. I think that's something that turns me off from pop music. There are a lot of songs that I think sound fine, but I just don't like listening to them for a long time. And I think it's actually the tuning. It sounds so sharp to me. It sounds off. It sounds like every note, I'm like, that's not quite an A. Oh, it's not quite a B. I think it's just I think it's just my ear. You listen to those YouTube videos where they tune down modern music to 432. I have before. I have. And it sounds right to me. That's the thing. Is it actually like, I don't know. It sounds right. I prefer it. I prefer it. You only tune at 420. That is too damn flat. You could have been a music producer. No, having good pitch doesn't make you a music producer. I can hear when I listen to production, I can be like, that's good production. But I don't like doing it. Like, I've sat around and played with whatever programs and made music. I've done that. But I always enjoyed just writing for classical more. I didn't really like doing production very much. I don't know. I think using the tools is nice, but I prefer to write by sitting there and playing a thing and then just, writing it down on paper. But I like analog, Are you gonna be a trainer or gym leader? Oh, trainer. I actually was asked if I was gonna be a gym leader, but I was like, I don't know how much time I'm gonna put into this. So don't put me down as a gym leader just in case I can't, spend that much time on it. But yeah, so I'll just be a trainer. I will. Do you still play cello? I'm getting back into it now that I have a spot to play it. I kind of stopped when I was living in my last place because my physical setup wasn't really conducive to me taking my cello out all the time and playing it, and then time-wise also. So I put it away for a bit. I would still take it out occasionally and play it, but not in a way where, my muscles were well used enough to make sure that, my technique was good. So I need to get it back, but I don't think that'll be hard because I know what good technique is. I just need to, make my muscles do it, right? I need to put the time in, so. Yeah. You said it's like you like reading books, but you wouldn't like writing a novel. Yeah, no, I liked writing music, but specifically classical and writing with specific instrumentation in mind. But I didn't really like doing production because production isn't just laying out a track. Production is so much beyond that I just don't enjoy doing. I like watching other people do it though. Wait, let me see. That one should be flatter. That one is sharp. The third note. Almost. It was close. Are you playing today? I'm gonna try, yeah. I'm gonna hop on. You need cello streams then? I mean, I don't plan on streaming practice because the problem is, you know what my practice is? Playing scales with different hand technique over and over and over for muscle strengthening. Cello practice is not like, let me practice a full piece. Cello practice for me is gonna be, because I need to get my strength back, because it's a big instrument, right? And if I haven't been playing, I need to make sure that my left hand is really strengthened. But yeah, practice is not entertaining. Exactly. I wouldn't want to stream it because the problem is it sounds so ugly. A lot of what you practice is the same scale 100 times, staccato, now legato, now this, now that. Now we're going to do it with a double bowing where you go down, down, up, same scale over and over, right? And it's going to be practicing that kind of technique, which I think you would hate listening to. If I get to the point where I'm just practicing a piece, I can do that, but technique practice is going to be 80% of my time. Yeah, I'm going back to foundations. For sure. I used to teach it and stuff to students, whatever. Like high school, middle school age. So I'm no stranger to well, it's time to do 1,000 scales. Well, it's time to play the first box suite over and over with different bowings every time, or whatever. And I don't get bored of it. It's just a thing you do. It's like eating. You have to do it, right? No matter what. Sometimes you enjoy it, sometimes you're just doing it to do it. So, I don't think I'll stream those parts. Could you see yourself playing cello on a cover or song collab with others someday? Not necessarily soon, or do you think you'll keep cello completely separate from your content? I don't know. I don't have any plans for it. If I find a good excuse to and I'm feeling it, I'll do it, but I'm not going to plan to because, I'll be honest. I just like playing classical music. And, most VTubers and content creators, when they hear you play the cello, they're like, do you want to play the intro to my sad pop song? And I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I want to play the Elgar cello concerto, or whatever. I don't know. I just really like classical. So if someone is like, do you want to play this duet with me? Also, I play classical music too. I'll be like, hell yeah, brother. I'll do that in an instant. That's no question. But, I just know. There are people that have heard that I play the cello and then they hit me up and they're like, there's this song that has this cello intro. And it's always, I don't know. It's always stuff that I don't want to touch. Nemo also plays the cello. Nemo's good. And she has the advantage of being a taller person. So she has really good reach. We've talked a lot about it, and I've been like, damn, I play a 7/8 cello. Actually, no, my current one is full size. It's slightly, yeah, my current one is full size, but I was like, damn, that's crazy. I'm at a like a physical disadvantage, always have been. So, is what it is. Ah!
Is that right?
It's that. No, it's not. I think your last note, you went, which is a C sharp. And it should be a C natural. The last one. So it should be 2.5 step down on the last note. Actually, the third note was high as well. I think those two should be half step down. That's an A. Yeah, it's A, B flat. It's just half steps up from each other. It's just 4 half steps. Is all it is. There's some violin VTubers you could collab with. Yeah, but they're gonna have to play a piece that has an interesting cello part if we did that. Because it's 50-50. Where some duets for violin and cello have a really nice part for both. And then some duets are like, the cello's basically playing the bottom end of a piano as far as the kinds of notes it's playing. And then the violin's doing everything. And I'm like, ugh. Ugh. So, as long as they're down with some of those pieces. Because some of those pieces are a little weird. Or they're like extra classical. So. Gotta work your way up to a dual cello with Altair. We've talked about it actually. Because I saw his 3D where he had like a cello attached to his model, and I was like, oh my god, oh man, we could do whatever. We could see. You've never legitimately practiced playing instruments, so you have no clue. It's, if you're gonna be good, if you're gonna be like good, it should be all foundations. And then at some point you start mixing in non-foundational stuff, playing actual pieces and things. And no matter what, no matter how good you get, you always start each day with just doing a study. Just one study, one set of foundations right at the beginning. Someone said, I want to play Dvorak. Oh my god. That's one of my favorites. Yeah. Yeah. Dvorak is really hard for me because you have to do so many stretches with your left hand where you play like, for anyone who plays cello, play like a B flat with your first finger, so you're reaching backwards with it from where it would normally be, so up toward the scroll. And then you also play a lot of notes at the same time where you're bridging now your pinky down. So you're extending your pointer and your pinky as far apart from each other as possible to play these notes. And it's really hard for me to hold my fingers in those positions and play those notes. Can I do it? Yes. Do I have to practice and be really strengthened up in my left hand to do it without hurting myself? Yes. Because I have small hands. So it's stuff like that if I tried to play today, I'd have to like, I'd probably do them on the foundations first, to be honest. That way I didn't, like, hurt my damn self. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? Who's your favorite composer? I like a lot of them. I don't have a favorite. I don't have a specific favorite. I like a lot of different pieces from a lot of different people, but I don't think there's a single composer where I'm like, this person hits every time, because they always have pieces that are just not it for me, and vice versa. Some that are really good. So I don't really know what they do, but there's a VTuber orchestra. You can find them on YouTube, VTuber Symphony Orchestra. No. No. I'm not auditioning. You know why? Because then I'd be on fucking deadlines, and I cannot add any deadlines to my life. I'm not doing that. I'm not taking an instrument that I still need to go and practice again to get to a point where I'm happy with it and be like, let me join an orchestra. Because if I practice a lot, then I'd be able to shit out my parts for them easy, but I'm not doing anything like that unless I'm like super well practiced again. Know what I mean? Question, what is the job of the fingers holding the wires? They're not wires, they're strings. Though they are metal wrapped, yeah. They're playing the notes. So when you put your finger down on a string, you're playing the cello. Also, Dovahkiin, thank you for the raid. If you're playing an open string, meaning your fingers have not been placed down. The string is X length, right? And it makes a certain note. When you put a finger down, you've now shortened that. You're holding it down so that when you place the bow down and you play the string, it is shorter, thus it will make a higher note. So when you place your fingers in certain spots, you shorten the string just enough that you then make a specific note happen when you play with the bow on the string. That's really all it is. So, yeah. So you're just, it's the same thing as a guitar, except a guitar has frets. So you don't have to be really specific in your finger placement, all of that. Lower sounds higher. Every time you press a finger down and you get closer and closer to going like physically lower on the cello, you're shortening the string so it plays a higher pitched sound. And the easy way to imagine it is the highest pitched string instrument is the violin, which is very small, and then the cello is larger, which makes lower sounds. The bass is even larger, which makes even lower sounds. All of that. So yeah, so the more of the string you cut off with your finger, then by placing it down, the higher the note you're gonna end up playing. Cellos don't have frets. Cellos, violins, all of those do not. It's just a smooth fingerboard. So that's one of the things, if you're out of practice, like me, you have to practice a lot to get that muscle memory back of being able to not look at the cello, not look at all, but place your finger down and hit the correct note and not have it be even slightly off, right? It's a big undertaking getting back to that point. My muscle memory is kind of still there, but it's not perfect, right? And I'd have to put a lot of time in to go from that like 80% correct to like 95% correct. No, there's no pick for cellos. No, it's just a bow. Use a French or German bow. I always prefer German bows, actually. My main teacher for the most years that I had her, she played in a very like Eastern European Russian kind of style, which is very you're smacking the bow down, you're playing very rough, and you're getting a really interesting like raw sound out of the cello. It's less pretty. And so we always use German bows because I like the sound that they produce. And it's like slightly more, I don't want to say scratchy, but you know, you hear the sound of it on the string a little more, and then the grip is a little different. But I always liked it. It's a stronger way of playing. Whereas the more Anglo, you know, kind of technique and everything, and the way they would play in like Italy and Germany was more pretty and a clear sound, a very clear tone, and good for a lot of solo playing, but also good for a lot of orchestral playing because you have very clear notes. And you can still get that out of both styles, but I don't know, I just prefer that kind of like instrument playing. Poop raid. Mason's pooping. He's pooping. I'll let him know that I know he's pooping. Ready? I know you're pooping right now. Okay, there we go. Do you need to use a metronome? I think you should, even if your timing's good. We were just talking about classical music because I was talking about you know, playing the cello and all that. What's wrong with these people? Are you sending this message while you're pooping? You're not even pooping? I think you are. I think you are. Because they said so, and it was a few people, and you're just one person, so just saying. Yes, the stream is stuttering. It's been tweaking all day. The audio's fine, but the video is not, and it's my ISP, and I can't do anything about it right now. I can't do shit about it. So it's gonna be the way it's gonna be. We were talking about classical music. Someone was asking if I used a French or German bow, and I said German. Do calluses help clean the sound of the cello? No. It doesn't help the sound. It just helps you not feel like shit when you're playing. If I'm being honest. It helps your fingers not fall off, man. Mason turning into Buddha. Can I say something? Every time I watch his stream, I see so many chatters like absolutely obsessed with the idea of his character of Clark becoming more and more like Lang or something. Can you just let him be his own great character? He's not trying to be him. He's not becoming him. He's just yelling more. That's all. He's his own great character. And the more you call him Mini Lang, the more he doesn't get to do his own thing, man. Let it be Clark time, okay? Let it be fucking Clark time. He's doing it himself. Tell him to stop. Be like, no. Clark is Clark. He is his own broken man. Let him develop, man. Let him develop. Okay. Okay. That's all I want to say. That's all I want to say. A German bow. Yeah, dude, I think, I don't know. I miss playing the cello, so I'm glad to play it again, but, I can't be doing a full part, like 3-part concert or anything anytime soon. So if I talk about cello, I'm just talking about it because it's on my mind because I've been practicing it again. Not because I'm trying to indicate to you guys that I'm trying to do a concert for you right now. Because every time I mention it, people are like, you should play it on stream. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. I played for so many years, but, you know, I also didn't really play for some time, so. Oh, mean. Said, can you talk about the role of conductors? Got into an argument once where they claimed the conductor was purely a ceremonial role. Why do you need me to prove that? They're not. Tell that person they were fucking stupid. That's all. That's all. Done. Also, yeah, people were reacting to me saying Clark poops on his own terms. Exactly. You have a cello room? No, my office is, it's a long rectangle. It's like the size of a large bedroom plus another one tacked onto the end. It's just a big long room. So, one end of this will have a chair. I'm trying to get the right chair, like just the right height for it, where I can sit and play the cello, and that's it. And then I'll get, one of those stands where you can leave the cello out instead of always leaving it locked away in a case that I have to, like, rip it out of every time. And I will just place it down so I can just pick it up and play it whenever. I just have to get I need to get a new type of humidifier. They make these little cello humidifiers that you stick through the, don't laugh, the F hole, in the front of the cello. And you leave it in there. And it slightly humidifies the air inside the cello when you store it. And they're ones that they make that are good for when it's locked away in a case. And it's held not completely airtight, but, you know, relatively sealed off. And then there are other ones that they have for when you are just leaving it out that are, you know, a little stronger. So I'm going to need to get one of those because the one that I have in it right now is just one that takes care of it while it's in the case. So I'm going to get that. Haha, F-hole. When I was, like, teaching students, when I would say the term, like, F-hole, because it's a hole shaped like the script letter F. It's literally shaped like an F. That's what it is. You could never say it. Never, without them being like, F-hole. And, like, do I see it? Yes, but, like, that's what it's called. That's what it's called. And the thing is, if, like, a grown adult was laughing at it, I'd be like, haha, F-hole, am I right? But when it's, like, a high schooler laughing, I'm like, I don't want to be here. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to make it not weird, and then some kid is like, haha, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. You just want to punch them, you know? You're just like, shut the fuck up, man. It ain't that funny. But if, like, a 30-year-old says that, I'm like, oh, yeah, F-hole. Yeah, right. Completely different reaction. I don't know. Student immediately gets dismissed if they crack up at F-hole. Dude, it's one thing to hear it and just laugh because you can't help yourself from laughing, but it's another thing to just bring it up all the time because you're, like, 14 and annoying. Right? Like, I would never feel bad if someone was laughing at it. I'd be like, yeah, that's right. You heard the funny term. That's okay. But they would just say it. You know, you'd be sitting with a couple students, and one student would point at another student's cello and be like, F-hole! And I'd be like, you didn't even, like, try to come up with a joke on it. You didn't come up with a setup where the punchline was the term F-hole. You just said it. Like, come on, man. We can do more. We can do better. They never would because they were like 12 to 16 and dumb. I don't know, man. I was just like, okay, all right, whatever. Whatever. You also laugh when your piano teacher wants to talk about fingering techniques. Yeah. Yeah. You have to finger in third position. Yeah. I never found that one funny. But I think that's because it's just a word that when you play the cello since you're little, all right? The word means the application to the cello more than anything else, because that's the context you're hearing it in rather first, right? And then sometime later you learn other contexts and you're like, oh, okay, but it's still the first thing in your mind, right? It's just, oh yeah, that has to do with placing your finger down on an instrument. So it was like never funny to me because it wasn't switched around the other way. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's kind of where it was for me. Yeah, less direct. Exactly. You had some classmates who were messing with a sub when she said we had to submit an oral report. A few days later, they got suspended for a few days. Honestly, good, because there's a difference between laughing at a thing that you find funny and then like harassing someone. And then when like a kid does it, you might actually put that person in like a bad position. So they have to like be extra strict on it so nothing bad happens. You know what I mean? Because you could make a teacher look insane if you don't like shut it down. So a lot of teachers will shut that shit down. They'll be like, it's not funny. And they'll push it like really far, but it's to make sure that they don't get in trouble either. Because if they just allow the joke, you know, you never know who's gonna have a problem with it. I don't know, man. Oh, total side thought, complete side thought. Complete side thought. I switched around my ads manager. I don't know if any of you've noticed. It's playing the same number of ads per hour, but I have it playing fewer and shorter ones more often. I don't know if you guys have seen that or noticed that, because most of my like really normal viewers are subbed. But I changed it so it runs just 30 seconds every like 15, every like 10-15, around there. It just runs 30 seconds of it, which I think is a lot more palatable, because before that I actually had set it to a minute and a half, a little less frequently, and then at some point it automatically swapped it to 2.5. I don't know when it switched it, but I checked and it was at 2.5 minutes of ads when it played them in a chunk. And I was like, no. Fuck no. That is not, I do not want people sitting there for 2.5 minutes of ads. So what I did was I made it the shortest it could be at a time, which is 30 seconds. And then it plays them more frequently. Because then if I'm telling a story or something, you're missing way less of it. Way less, and it's very short. So yeah, I switched that. So it's still the lowest possible number of minutes per hour I can play. Because I didn't want to increase the overall time or anything. I don't like juicing ads like that, but yeah, it's spread out a little better, so I think that's nice. Said, yeah, I'm getting ads every 2 minutes. Well, that's not what they're scheduled for, so that shouldn't be happening to you at all. It is every like, I think it's every 10. Yeah, it's every 10. It does 30 seconds. But yeah. So that's the frequency I've got it at, because I feel like that's so much nicer. Yeah, I can sit through 4 or 5 to 8 feels like an eternity. Exactly. I was just thinking about it from my own perspective. Like, what amount is too much for me where I'm just gonna leave? Where I'm like, I can't do this. Even if I like the streamer, I'm like, I can't. You know, and I was like, all right, 30 seconds. I could do that. Wish you could send one guy into ad jail like a hostage. Oh, I wish. I wish. Speaking of ads, yeah, one just started right there when I said that. That's why I thought of it, because it gave me the countdown. I was like, oh, one's starting soon.
Cheer.
But yeah, I figured that's a lot easier to deal with, and kind of matches up with what happens on regular TV anyway. They do like every 10 minutes they go for an ad break, so I figured it wasn't too crazy. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like that and see what happens. because I don't know. Once I saw that it had automatically moved it to 2.5, I was like, I can't. I can't be doing that to people. Because I can't sit through that. No way. Mobile has a weird bug where if you change resolution, it autoplays 2 minutes of ads. Ew. It's weird. Pre-rolls are the biggest killer of your interest. Me too. That's why I have this scheduler play it. Because what you could do is you could turn off the regular ads like this and have it just play pre-rolls when people like click into your stream. They just get ads there and that's it. You could also make it so that both play. You could make it so that if someone clicks on, even if regular mid-roll ads have been playing the whole time, they still get pre-roll. I turned that off, obviously. But yeah, I wanted them playing at a frequency where I can make sure that no one is getting pre-roll ads, because I personally hate them. Nothing kills my day more than clicking into a stream being like, oh yeah, I can't wait to watch so-and-so, and then it goes boom and hits you with 2 minutes of ads. No. I'm not even watching it. I'm not even settled in. They're like, don't you want to buy Dawn dish soap? Oh, you love bounce paper towels. And I cannot. I cannot do that. No, thank you. So, yeah, I turned all that shit off. All that shit off, made the ads as short as possible, and had them happen more frequently instead. Because you have to hit, there's like an hourly amount that you have to hit. Otherwise, you like don't get paid properly for them. So, I was like, it's either 0 ads or I put them at this frequency. So, I picked that. And that is what we are doing. That is what we're doing. Now, the other thing I have considered, is actually what Thor does, where he has longer ad breaks infrequently. And what he does is he makes it a whole thing. He says, all right, ads are playing. We're just going to sit here and do nothing. And he goes on a break himself, or he actually just sits there and does nothing. He brings attention to it. So that way, like, no one misses anything. He'll pause the game he's playing. Everyone gets up, takes a break. So I've considered that as well. So I'm going to try this for a while and see how it goes. But if people don't love it at all in some way, I don't know. I'll consider it. That would also encourage me to get up and walk around more too. So we shall see. Which I do like stand up midstream. You don't even see it half the time, but you know, I like push my chair back and I'm just like standing. I do it all the time. But running around is good too. Gives you a moment to grab a snack without feeling FOMO. Yeah, I have more and more people over time that watch longer portions of the stream. It used to be people on average would watch like 30 minutes, then they started watching on average 40 minutes. Now I have people that are watching like multiple hours very often. So, you know, I think those people taking breaks too would be good. If that makes sense. You kind of like the planned regular breaks? I think I do too. And then I have a little... We could even make... I could let you guys do it or I make them myself or whatever. We could make commercials. We could even do like Adult Swim bumps, you know, and just like just play them on repeat until I'm back. So there's something on the screen and, you know, that could be it. I don't know. Slideshows of offerings and things, all this kind of stuff could be done. So yeah, I've thought about that. I've thought about that. Maybe like every hour we do the 3 minutes thing or something. Cough, Aethel, cough. I've talked about this before, but can we not say like Aethel? Can we not? Because I've told this story before, but I had talked to my community before Aethel did the ones that were like very Adult Swim oriented. We had talked about this, about us doing it here. And I was like, guys, we should do bumps. It would be really funny. I'll let you submit them. They'll be like Adult Swim bumps. And everyone's like, yeah, let's do it. And I was like, okay, maybe after I like debut my new model kind of thing. And then sometime before I did that, he started doing it on his stream. And then everyone was like, you should do the thing that Aethel does. And I was like, no, don't say it like that, because now it sounds like I just saw it there and went, I want to do it from there. But no, we had been thinking about it. And neither of us came up with it, obviously, right? Like Adult Swim was kind of doing that first. Yeah, Aethel invented Adult Swim, yeah. But that was why I didn't do it, because I was like, if I do it so soon after, people are gonna be like, why are you doing this? Because you know, people that don't watch every stream are gonna be like, I've never heard you talk about it, so it's not real. So I avoided doing it. I was like, but I had been wanting to do it for forever, honestly. Forever. Yeah, just like Zen's reverse subathon. I know. I mean, hey, it's first mover's advantage, right? I'm not saying I don't want to do it at this point. I still do. I still do, for sure. We'll probably do it, but yeah. The noticer's noticing. Always, always, always. We'll still do it. At some point, I'll just open community submissions, I think. I'll write a note to myself. Okay, there we go. There's my, whoops, I misspelled. There's my note to myself so I do not forget. So I do not forget. Ta-da. Just do it in fake drama farm engagement. Oh, you're so right. How about this? We'll do it and I'll be like, I'm the first streamer to do this. I'll be like, yeah, no, I was the first one to do it. And people will be like, no, I've seen it on these other, because they're like 3-4 streamers that I've seen do it, right? And they'll be like, no, I've seen this streamer do it. And I'll be like, well, I've never seen it, so. Right? No, they didn't. They've never done that on the stream. You know those people that don't watch streams but still like talk about them as if they know anything about them? We'll just do that. We'll just do that. I'll be like, I don't know. I mean, does it matter? I was first, so, you know, just completely ignore. We gotta do it. We gotta do it. It would be funny. We'll get ultra dramatic. We'll get ultra dramatic. You were planning on making one just putting in offerings, TBH? You should. You should. I wrote a note to self to open submissions for it. And maybe the offerings channel. What I might do is I might do it that like a certain month. I'll be like, hey, we want offerings of this type. If you do offerings of this type, you get extra points for them. And then it'll be like something that I want to use like that, right? Like that could help the community. So if I'm like, we need bumpers, like this month, bumpers will get you extra. If you just do one, whether we like it or not, boom, extra 50 points, or you know, that kind of thing. Maybe we'll do that. We'll put like a bounty on it. I think it'd be fun. You said, oh, GTA viewers. Yeah, people that don't watch the stream. You know, I don't know if any of you are still here from Mason's chat. Oh my god, I was laughing. So when I'm playing the game and I'm not streaming it, I'm usually in like a friend's stream, especially if I'm interacting with them, because I love like just seeing their chat's reactions and stuff, because it's funny. Usually. People in his chat are fucking tweaking so much. They're saying so many things that are incorrect, and they're freaking the fuck out. And across all of the stream chats, there are some people that I'm like, is this like Incel City? Like, what's happening? I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but if you've been in those chats, you might have seen a few of them. Not the whole chat, obviously, just a few people. But there's some people that say some wild shit, and I'm like, oh my god. They're real. You know, it's like a zoo. You're just looking at them, and you're like, wow. They do exist. Yeah, no, it's crazy. There's some funny stuff I've seen, but, you know. Collective one guy. I mean, yeah, it's just like a couple people realistically that say like the weirdest stuff, but the thing is, the people that say weird shit, they type so much, you know, and like you're aware, hey, this is only 3 people, but they keep typing, and I'm like, are they okay? Why do they keep typing? And then you remember they have nothing else to live for, right? So they exist to just type weird shit all day, and I'm like, oh well. And it makes it really, really easy to put out of your mind because, you know, that's sad, right? I'm just like, ooh, okay. It's funny, though. It's funny. Yeah, the weird dude hive mind, for sure. Now, it's not that many people. It's really not. It's just like the volume of messages they type is huge. But it's funny. Aethel calls out incel shit all the time, so I think it's an ironic bit. Oh, yeah, no, in his chat, yeah, I'm not talking about his chat. I'm not talking about his chat at all. I'm talking about other ones, but, no, his chat, I've seen it. If someone comes in and says some weird thing about women, he goes like, "Oh, okay." Oh. Like, his reaction's always funny, man. It's always good. It's always good. The way he reacts to it is like, you know, he's putting the shame on full display, which is always funny. And I think that's what those people need. When someone says something like really weird, I don't think they realize that they're being weird, right? When someone is just like standing on a hill and dying on a hill in anyone's chat about anything, they're just talking so much, they're typing so many sentences, and their vibes are a little off, and they're giving a strong opinion where some people are like, oh, you know. I feel like those people never really realize that, that what they're saying is odd, because I think if they knew and they internalized that, they wouldn't be typing it, right? They'd feel some sort of shame and they wouldn't be saying it. But instead, they're just like, nah, this is fine. I'm right, though. I don't know. I don't know, man. There's just a point where I'm like, you can't fix them, so I don't know. Said I miss forums. Maybe I should go find one soon. No. No, I mean, Reddit basically replaced forums, but it also has its own issues. But I think most things that used to be on the internet in the form of a forum are now just subreddits. Because it's an easier tool. You don't have to do as much custom shit to manage it. So, pretty much everything moved there. And then, some of the ones that still exist, there's some that are still very useful. And then, there are others that are just like, basically people that would get banned on Reddit because they can't behave end up back on forums. So, you know what I mean? It kind of like, a lot of them are self-selecting for like the worst people that you really don't want to be interacting with normally. So I wouldn't go back to them, to be honest. I will say they're fine for help, for tech, stuff like that. People want to host shit. I mean, that was probably the biggest factor. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you needed your own like webmaster for every single forum, and it wasn't really working out long term. It really wasn't. You saw a guy say they respected a streamer for not banning them for saying something weird, followed by a double down into a ban yesterday, and you were like, why even? I know. There are people that come in here and say something a little
17-month, I better write something funny and cool.
Oh, it's your chance. It's your chance. No, we get people in here that will say something a little weird, and we tend to not outright ban. We usually like delete a message, timeout, give a warning, because Switch has a warning feature now, which is really nice. Stuff like that, to indicate something to them while still giving them the chance to keep typing, right? And it sometimes it works, but there are a lot of people that will come in, a message will get deleted, and they'll be like, why was that deleted? And sometimes I'll just say it. I'll talk to them about it. And I'll be like, yeah, well, you said this thing and you probably meant this, but the vibes of what you said it were off, so let's take it down a tick. I'll say it really, like, I'll explain to that person, you know? And I understand it's just like one person. I really don't need to explain to them. But if like I'm not in the middle of a tangent, then like whatever, I'll just talk about it, you know? That's a confused individual. I'll help them out. But I say that knowing that there's like an 80% chance they're not going to get it, and they're going to be like, thanks for understanding. Anyway, I hate people, especially women. You know, they'll like say something crazy, and I'll be like, all right, well, we tried. You know, so I know that those people, you know, the chance of them figuring it out is like not that high, but you try. You try. Stream buffering for anyone else? Yeah, as I've said 1,000 times, it's, here, you know what? Let me just write it on the screen, so I don't have to repeat myself. Hold on. ISP tweaking. Rip frame rate. How about that? Now, if I don't move that, you'll be able to read it. Nice. Okay. Everyone should understand that, right? Now, if someone comes into the chat and is like, the stream is being weird for me. Is anyone else having an issue with the something? You know, that means they didn't read the screen and you can make fun of them. Are really 410 Giga? No, I've been lying the whole time. I'm actually 5'7". I'm 5'7". You think the most off thing you've said in this channel is coming here as a first-time chatter and dice rolling mob PvPs and undead. It's hilarious mob love. Oh, yeah, you just dice rolled to pick. Hey, that's fine, though. You don't have to care about which one you're in so long as you pick one. You'll learn to love it later. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. No one's asking about the buffering when you have the PowerPoint background. Yeah, but then when I want to play a game, I can't put the PowerPoint background on. So I, you know, I'll need a little extra help on that. So, yeah. Yeah. You are tall and not bald. Yep. That's me. I am, IRL, I'm 5'7" and not bald. Sorry to break it to you. Sorry to break it to you, but that's my real description of myself. Real and true. What's up with the corn tag? What do you think? Are you expecting deep lore? Corn is love, corn is life. That's it. Okay, and we support big corn here. We always have, and we always will. This stream is paid for by big corn. Eat corn now. Eat it now. Eat it now. Every VTuber is a 40-year-old man? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, how about this? If I get nominated for a category in the Streamer Awards and I win, I will get up there, do my best to sound like I'm crying, and thank them for believing in me even though I am just a 40-year-old bald man behind the avatar with a voice changer. Does that sound good? That's what I'll do if I win an award, okay? I'll get up there and I'll be like, thank you so much for supporting me. Even though I'm just a 40-year-old balding man. Thank you so much. Yeah. Deal? Deal? Sound good? Okay, okay. If that ever happens, that's the, you know.
Meow.
That's the whole plan. Whole plan. Falderos, thank you for that 18 months. Thank you for that 18 months. Yeah, no, I think people will accept me if I show who I am and I look like the South Park World of Warcraft guy. I think people will accept that. Non-understanding viewers are gonna be like, I knew it. I'll just change it up every time. I'll say that and then, you know, this is assuming I ever win everything, which is probably not gonna happen at that show, but you know. If it happened, then I would, the next stream, I'd be like, thank you, I'm a 50-year-old, 5'3" man. I would just change it every time. Every single time. We'll keep changing it up. That's just how it's gonna go. Next, you're gonna say you're from Vancouver. Maybe that's the bit. Maybe that's actually the bit. Yeah, I'm a dad, I have a son. And you guys all say thanks, Unc. There you go. You would finally tier 3 sub? Is that what it's gonna fucking take? Is that what it's gonna fucking take, man? South Park WoW Guy was based on Thor's dad? Yes, I saw the YouTube short as well that had millions of views. I too saw that. Have a webcam fill your mid-victory speech? I have a plan for that, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. I have a plan for the sort of thing you're looking for. You'll find out later if it ever happens. You'll find out later. I won't say. I won't say. It's just gonna be... If I get nominated, I have some thoughts, and it'll be good. It'll be good. It just requires one person in particular having availability during that award ceremony night, and we will see. We shall see. We shall see what happens. Anyway, I want to play Minecraft. I want to play I want to try opening this game and try playing on this server. But at the same time, if the frame rate's tweaking, I don't know. I just don't know how that'll go. Because it's going to be harder for you to get visual context if it's, you know, 2 FPS. Let me hit button. Let me see how many frames I'm dropping, like by count or by percentage. I'm gonna look. Oof. It's so many frames dropped. For what? For what? I don't know. Is watching me play a game gonna be like too hard? But I want to play a game. I don't know. And everything looks totally fine on my end. It's only the stream. Yeah, it's the Cobblemont thing. I'm part of the server. I am indeed. I am indeed. All my other... Everything else, my other stats all look fine. Fuck it. Why don't I just try for a little bit? And then as I play, you tell me if it's hurting your soul or not. How about that? When are those hired goons gonna arrive at the ISP? I don't know. I don't know. Roll out, boys. Roll out. The audio's been good for ages. I know. The audio's fine. The audio's totally fine. So, you know, if you're just here to listen to me like a radio show, then, you know, I think you'll be fine on that end. I think it'll be totally fine. It'll just be the visuals that'll get a little stinky. I'll just narrate literally everything I do. How about that? Yeah, narrate everything you do like an audiobook. Exactly. I am now walking toward the forest. Wait, I could narrate it like the narrator in Pokemon talks about Ash's adventure. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, described audio. There's a thought. There's a thought. If you had a Pokemon gym, what type would it be themed after? I don't know. I always liked ghost types. I like steel types. I like fighting types. I like ice types. I like, well, ice as a type sucks because of the matchups, but I like them. I like dragon types. I don't know. I think I'd just be a trainer with a mix of things. I don't think I would stick to a certain type. I think like maybe like steel, dark, or steel poison would be cool. Ugh. I'm trying to drink like an extra water bottle today. I'm trying to overhydrate. Gengar was great. Love Lavender Town. Very pleasant. Very pleasant. Switched to old Granny Chibi for it. No, because the Chibi model takes V-Bridger, and I'm not trying to run anything extra on my machine right now while things are tweaking. I feel like, while that shouldn't affect it, I'm making sure that all my computer has to do is stream. I have, like, everything else closed. Nothing else can be seen right now. Like, nothing. Nothing at all. Bare bones. Just to make sure. Okay. I hear a bunch of Minecraft music. Hold on. Music and sounds. Actually, wait. Do you hear it? It's like part of the mod pack. Do they have Pokemon music? Should I leave the music on for the server? I wonder. Let's go over here and let's see. And maybe I'll turn my BGM back on. If it ends up being not important. Why is it so loud? If it's a network issue, though, the loader in computer should be irrelevant. I think it's a network issue. Everything is pointing toward it being a network issue, but why not reduce the chance of it being something else anyway, just in case? Just in case for some reason there's something I'm not seeing, or I was dumb and didn't check a thing, right? Right? No reason for me to have, you know, extra things running and open and whatever if I don't need to. Plus, running that model, it tries to send more frames to OBS than this one, so... Damn, listen to the Minecraft music. Ooh, it's like not even music, it's like a soundscape. Ooh, okay, I have this bar at the bottom so I can put my, my disclaimer here. Here, ooh, we'll move it over. Yes, there we go.